We did just put out our first video reacting to the Guardians' postseason ending with a big Game 3 loss to Detroit here in Cleveland in the last little bit. This, to me, is why talking baseball in this town sucks. This team just did something really, really cool, which was they came back from the dead. At the end of August, Fangraphs and ESPN gave you a 0.0 chance to win the division. All right, they were just in a highly competitive. Yes, they lost. Losing in the playoffs sucks. You will not get any sort of disagreement that was heart-wrenching. We're watching the game, trying to talk during a 5-hour program. We're living and dying too. The first 4 things on this on the damn Post about the Guardians, who were in the playoffs, and a month ago they weren't even sniffing the playoffs. Oh, why start at the Dolans? Oh, hey, bleep the Dolans, right? The biggest picture, the biggest picture. The bigger picture is this team has ownership that will never allow them to ever win a World Series. Guys, I'm not doing this crap. Like, I get that every one of our... I'm not telling you to not have criticisms of the Dolan. What I'm saying is there's a time and a place when we can bitch about ownership, and there's a time and a damn place where we can credit a team for what they did. And that team is that front office that half of you wanted to fire damn 6 months ago. This is the same damn manager that got you into the ALCS last year, and it's a team full of guys who it doesn't matter if they should have been there, they were there. If you want to bitch about the Dolans, do it somewhere else. There's one conversation some of you can have with this damn team. And if you're, again, have the complaint. It is a fair complaint. It ends up being a one-sided complaint that lacks any sort of nuance about actually how baseball works, but have the complaint. But if your reaction today isn't well done, boys, I didn't think you had it into it. You surprised me. If it's not well done, Stephen Vogt, if it's not well done, Cernetti, I don't know why we do sports anymore. You want to chase rings, you want to grab ass, you want to be the Lakers, go live in Los Angeles. They buy a championship at least once a decade. Hey, baseball's hard being a Guardians fan. Go be a Yankees fan, because they've been buying championships for a decade and haven't won a damn thing. Good God, it is that the body is still cooling. And I got to have the first 4 freaking comments about the Dolans. What about the dudes who played the game? What about the guys who've led this thing, this whole structure, to more success in a small market, mid-market? I didn't even want to say one thing because it's not going to be, they're really a mid-market. They're not a small market. Fine, semantics me to death. If you don't feel pride of being a Guards fan for this team being in the playoffs, you aren't a Guardians fan. You want to bitch about the Dolans tomorrow? Sure, we'll do that same stupid conversation that we've been doing as long as I've lived. And before the Dolans, it was Dick Jacobs. And I guarantee you, I wasn't alive for Vernon Stouffer. I guarantee it's the same damn conversation. Gets you nowhere. This organization wins. We support a team that does nothing. They laugh in your face when they bring in guys accused of heinous things because they know more than you. And then they go with 3-14. And the Guardians, in a highly competitive, they lost. That happens in sports. A lot of teams lose in sports. You want to talk about Dolan today? Like, what is the point of this?
It is such a stale conversation that drives me crazy because you said it. There's no conversation to be had off it. Okay, Dolans don't spend money, and yet somehow, some way, this team finds and builds a roster to get you there. Would it be nice to spend $200 million? Sure, it'd be great. You don't do it. It's mind-numbing that you can sit there and watch September play out this way. You can watch this team battle in the playoffs. And truthfully, I know that the end result isn't great. That team battled to their last staff. You can have problems with Jose doing it. You can have problems with the way Vogt managed. That team battled to their very death, scoring runs in the bottom of the 8th when they could have just rolled over. They could have just rolled over in Game 2 and said, you know what? Tigers bested us, and we weren't supposed to be here in the first place. Great season, guys. They didn't. They fight to the death, and every single year they do the same thing, and yet somehow it's these same conversation. They're out of the playoffs. Guess it's on the Dolans. Like, no, we've watched small market teams win before. It happens. Just because you don't have a championship to show for it, congratulations. It's difficult to be in this spot.
And it's not that those comments are not valid.
Right.
It's when every conversation with something doesn't go right with the Guardians in this town, it becomes about the Dolans. You're demeaning what the work that's actually being done out there is. That work is incredibly impressive. It's not perfect. They invested in a rotation and a bullpen, expecting every prospect to hit out on offense, and none of them did. Yep, go back to the drawing board. But when you're in the playoffs, you get credit for that. You get celebrated. You don't have to celebrate the guy that's atop the masthead. You can celebrate this damn team without stumping and falling to the lowest level of thought, which is, well, if the Dolans actually, guys, yeah, those guys in the front office need to do a better job on this offense. There's no way we're going to, yep, do they need to spend more? Would love if they did. Today is about Jose Ramirez, Steven Kwan, George Valera, Bo Naylor, that rotation, a team that was Lazarus from the freaking dead. 216-474-0092. The Dolans! The Dolans! What about the Dolans? Anybody said the Dolans? They're bad owners. Have you said the Dolans are bad owners yet? Oh, man. Your baseball analysis is bowling me over. I'm sweating.
It's riveting.
I do think there's still people that I think might not understand the point. The Dolans is a very real conversation we've talked about endless times. That is not where my headspace is, nor do I know why it's anyone's headspace after losing that series. The Guardians didn't just lose because the offense wasn't good enough. The Guardians lost because they played bad baseball. They made base running errors. They made actual on-field errors. They didn't have enough, the right mix of a deep enough rotation with a deep enough pen. And it's a 3-game series. Like, that is as close down to the wire of a 3-game series as you can have. As a matter of fact, most of the time, I will say one of the knocks you have in the wild card series is no matter who's winning, the favorite or the underdog, they tend to be quick and gone quickly, usually in about 2 games. So, yeah, the Dolans will be a conversation. And listen, my message is more to the front office. Like, after that kind of loss, like Stephen Vogt managed as well as you can manage, considering at no point could he consistently trust anything for more than a month. I think the longest the offense gave you was about a month. I think the rotation, a couple stretches of about a month, but nothing more than a month. The bullpen had a couple of high water marks, a couple real low water marks. And the whole point, like, I thought Terry Francona was his best when he could say, all right, the only thing winning me games is the bullpen. That's what I'm going to ride. That's what Steven did for most of last year. You know how hard it is to win games in baseball if you don't have something you can definitively trust time and time again? Like, do I think that Stephen Vogt, by going to Ciccone early, or going away from him early, do I think that put the Guardians behind the 8 ball, and that's probably where things started to fall apart? Yes. At the same point, okay, I either trust a guy in the rotation who's been ultimate boomer bust, lights out, or 6 earned runs, or I trust a bullpen that statistically has been pretty decent, even if I think the numbers are a little inflated. Like, to me, this is my message to the front office is you guessed wrong last offseason. You guessed around building the pitching staff and reinforcing the bullpen, and then your reinforcements never really entered the equation. And I guess Luis Ortiz was nice, but it seems like the rest of the rotation came in here. The failure to me, if we want to get to the real failure of this season beyond baseball economics, which we can have the conversation every single year, and this is where the front office has to understand there's no excuses. This team has shown you they can win with this pitching staff. Go get a couple of bats. Get a couple of guys to slide in that lineup, and then find out where DeLauder, Valera, in the middle infielders run after that. There's no excuses not to get a couple bats in this lineup, no matter how you have to do it.
It's just flat out today. They were the worst team for 3 games, right? Which just happens. Like, they got outplayed in the 3 games. They were outmatched in the totality of the series. It's the bottom line. Again, like, I think the front office criticisms are completely fair. Like, I think also if you want to talk about a bullpen, obviously you kind of got snuffed by the entire Urbano Clase situation. That didn't help you out. You also made a couple of moves that just weren't great. Like, Jacob Junis found himself a little bit down the stretch. Paul Sewald was obviously useless and not on the team after a couple of months. He didn't really do a great job to just solidify what that bullpen needed to be in order for this team to have success again. Okay, like, they're not perfect. They also brought you some really good things. Like, Slade was an addition they made that was really good. Luis Ortiz, in the moments when he was here, looked pretty good. Like, you had things that were positive. Bybee and Gavin Williams both found it down the stretch. Like, there's still positive things from this team. The young players are positive.
Is a positive.
Yes.
Like, yes, trading Josh Naylor for Slade Ciccone was a absolute loss to this lineup because you never replaced him. Fair. Slade Ciccone then became one of your 3 best starters. Also fair. Andres Jimenez, guys, it was addition by subtraction. Andres was as bad. No, he's worse than the guys you have in the lineup this year. Schneemann, Rocchio, and Arias gave you more combined at shortstop and second baseman than Rocchio and Jimenez did last year, even if defensively you weren't the same team. Like, I guess maybe that's the greater point, is when we ultimately go to a very fair point of frustration, which is bleep the Dolans. Get it. We're kind of like, guys, we shouldn't be mad about this loss. They had no business being there from where they were a month ago. While this doesn't add on to the legacy that is this team and what this team accomplished, it also doesn't wash it away either. Like, what this team overcame this year, and yes, they overcame ownership. They overcame bad planning by the front office. They overcame 2 of their best pitchers, including a guy they were about to trade for a whole host that was going to be the next part of this next run in Emmanuel Clase. They lost 2 of their best pitchers halfway through the season with nothing given back to them. And they were out of it on August 31st. Like, I don't know how today isn't like a damn. I can't believe you guys did that. Thank you for September, and thank you for the first week of October.
Like, the entire bleep the Dolans conversation, and again, fair, is kind of like an off-season first couple of weeks of the season when you see how the roster actually panned out type of thing. After that, it should focus on what the Guardians are actually doing, which, again, this year was just impressive. Like, I'm still riding through the emotions of the loss. I'm still angry over it. You can also look back on things and be like, okay, again, you should have never been there. And this team still fought in a series where, by the way, it's not like the Tigers spent any money either. It's not like they $200 million you out of this series. It's not why you lost. They just outplayed you for 3 games.